going to run introductions really quick, and then we're going to give a brief introduction, so go ahead.
Hi, I'm Zaustus. I've been running these games, speedrunning these games since about 2019. I've run all of them, actually, at this point, all the Cyan games. Been loving the Cyan games since Myst came out, probably played it in '94. Yeah, so it's a great way to keep involved with the community and keep playing these games, even though I know how to solve all the puzzles.
Where did you come from to be here?
I actually came from the Tri-Cities, which is just 2 hours southwest of here, so This is convenient for me.
I am Flapjack. I've come from Dallas, Texas to be here. I joined the community right after the 25th came out in 2018, which has continually built up, and a lot of you have joined that community, which is awesome. And I was one of 3 people who ran Myst at a Games Done Quick back in 2020, and this is the very first time we've had a chance to present live for Mysterium.
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah. Hi, I'm Darkshoxx. I'm from Germany. I currently live in the UK. I came all the way here just to have fun with you all people. And I also run basically all of the Myst games, most of the Cyan games, with main focus on Myst. Super glad to be here.
Is it on?
Oh, now it's not muted. Let's go. Hi, I'm Rad. You can also call me Jordan. I joined the community after seeing their run at HEDQ 2020, and I'm that guy that plays all the weird categories, like the iPad version, or Riven for PlayStation. There's something for everyone, and we're going to put on a good show today, so I hope you're excited.
What you can tell us, what is speedrunning? Why would someone care?
Okay, show of hands, who's played Riven? Okay, I could have just said, like, who's here, yeah. So I want you to think back, like a day, a week, a month, a century, whenever you played it. Were you like, I just got to beat this game. That's the only thing I care about. I just got to beat it. Or were you like, no, I care about the music. I want to see the puzzles. I'm kind of going to be bummed when I beat it, right? Like, I don't want it to end. I think that's sort of a good way to think about speedrunning. We're all in agreement that we want to go as fast as we can, and that's kind of how we judge each other and, like, work toward a common goal. But the point is really about celebrating the games we love and like what the journey brings us along the way, the glitches we find, the familiarity we develop about the games and the systems and the bugs and the different versions. And it's just an expression of, I think, the fandom that we have for these games, much like an achievement system would be on like Xbox or challenge runs, that kind of thing. So it's what brings us together, but being the fastest is just a small part of the overall experience, I think.
100%. So, in honor of Myst's 30th, what we have prepared for you today is a series of Myst speedruns across everything from the original version down to the most recent version, and there are at least 3 things on this panel that have never been run live for anyone ever. So we prepared some stuff that no one's seen before. All right, and with that, I think we will attempt to kick it off with a grand overview of what a speedrun is like by playing the very first Myst and trying to collect every page in less than 15 minutes.
All right.
All right. I am going to heavily rely on my compatriots to run commentary.
Yeah, it's fine. I can see it up there.
Oh yeah, I gotta...
You have to turn Zep mode on every run.
All right, count me down.
Okay. All right, we're going to start the run in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, we are linking into Myst. We have to collect 2 pages from every age, and we have to flip all the markers, which is, you all know that stuff. The thing is, we're going to do it in a very specific order. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to raise the stone ship, which also means we have to wait a little more, and then starts with the first bit of prep, which is raising the tree that will allow us to go to channel. Now, at some point we're going to have to rely on audio cues, because while the tree is going up or down, it will make sounds, and he will have to count the sounds in his head. So when we're at that point, we would like to ask for silence. So I'll have to stop as well. There was a little glitch there where we are allowed to use slide the matchstick multiple times across the ignition, which allows us to skip a couple of those turning animations. once that's all the way up, he's gonna count and then shut it down. But until then, we have enough time to go down here.
Yeah, the tree is really like we try to get as much done while the tree is moving as we can.
And then we turn it back down.
Really coordinated group here today, thank you.
Oh no.
Oh no, we missed it. We missed it by just a bit. Right, so all the way back up.
We need.
That's how tight this is.
Yeah.
You miss it by like half a second, you gotta redo. A lot of resetting in this game, believe it or not.
Yeah, this game is very reset heavy. Actually, most speedruns reset very, very, very quickly at the start of the run if you make too many errors. A little bit of tech here. You have to watch the boiler needle, but if you took away, you don't. I'm gonna do 3 just to be safe.
Yep.
Whoop. 4, I guess. Oh, and by the way, if you thought that this was tedious, I'm about to do it one more time for good measure.
Oh yeah, because we need 2 pages, remember?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so there's an interesting piece of tech, and probably the most interesting piece of tech is that as you're running around the other ages, the position of the steam valve is kept in memory.
Also, if you didn't know, there's a steam valve there as well, so you can immediately send it back up.
I'm counting. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
We're off.
Channelwood time. All right. So we need to set a lot of the levers on the floor and turn on the water at the source. We're going to we have like a fixed rhythm of what to do in which order. He's an expert at that, and then we're going to go up and try to find power to the other. Let's go. Very nice. Now, of course, it's super easy to get lost up here, but Flapjack has enough routine in it to just find his way up and down immediately to the second elevator. And now we have a red page and a blue page. We're going to go...
Blue page first, I guess.
All right, we're deviating. We're doing this on the fly. Right, now that we don't have the zip mode, he has to walk back manually, but that's fine too. All right. We got the blue page. Every now and again, we can actually use the zip notes. They're super useful for speedrunning, but only when we want. Right, now we have to set the water to the other elevator, which leads us to the Myst linking book. We have to set up some bridges, do a bit of plumbing.
A bit of plumbing. There we go.
There we go. And if we can, there we go. You can hear the water in here. That elevator will take us up to the Myst book. Right. Now there's as we know, the library already has one blue page. And if we click that, before clicking the book now, you will drop the page that is from Channelwood, which means it goes back to Channelwood. So don't do that. And he didn't, so he has now done 2 pages.
At least for one.
All right. Now we hear the tree again.
You like that? Good. Ah! There we go. All right.
All right. So, focus. I think the last one. Yep, that sounds good. All right.
Let's go.
Second try. Let's go. Very nice. All right, Selenitic has the great advantage that we don't have to solve the environment puzzle because the solution is always fixed. So all you need to do is grab a page, enter that known solution in here. Quick silence for audio. of course, as you all know, what is coming up is the Maze Runner. The beloved, beloved Maze Runner. We don't actually have a map or anything of that sort in our heads. We just know the combination we have to hit. And so focus.
I don't need audio. You can just...
All right, right. So he's just, he is basically hitting a button and then immediately hitting escape to stop the cutscene of moving forward. Navigating his way expertly. And we're already there, right?
That's how y'all did that, right?
Only two misinputs when you saw the menu come up, because when you hit escape to skip a cutscene, and there's no cutscene playing, escape will just get you to the menu. So only two misclicks. That was a really good run. Right, and we have the first two red pages. Now, we hear something in the distance. Oh, we're going to go back into Selenitic.
Worth pointing out, this is the most recent Steam version, so we're not playing like an old unpatched version or something. This is what you can just go out and buy right now.
Yeah. This is the retail version available on Steam. Gonna get the blue page.
The zip messed me up.
Like I said, the zips are helpful when we want them.
Stop it!
Yeah, like for as fast as we can move, even stopping to think about where the zip node might be or positioning your mouse is like time loss. So.
That solution remains in there, so we can just push the button and return to our beloved Maze Runner, who's desperately waiting for us to give it a go. Now we have zip nodes, so it's even faster. And see. There we go. Very nice. All right, that's another blue page done.
So where are we going next?
A stone ship, my friends. We of course all know how stone ship works. There's a couple of things that we can abuse here for the sake of time. First of all, we have to, of course, do the funky little puzzle with the chest and how to get the keys, which I think is just a really clever puzzle. Let's face it. Getting that key, opening up there. Now, usually we then charge the generator for a long time because we don't want the lights to go out, but Flapjack really only needs half a turn to go down into the room, grab a page.
Whoops.
Or put it back. I mean...
I didn't really want it.
Maybe you didn't like that page. Right.
Don't miss.
And there we go.
Don't
all
mess
in
that one up.
go. Nice. Round of applause, please. Or not. We can't do it. All right, and back down. Very nice. And now we see the hook from the table, as is canon.
I'm gonna check the tree just to be safe.
Yeah,
Right, we still have to go back to Channelwood for the red page.
that is perfect. All right,
Which one?
that's fine. Two more. There we go. Nice. And setting up for mechanical. There we go. Immediately skipped. Quick check on Channelwood.
Yep, it's good.
There we go. It's going up, so let's send it back down.
Yeah, so the tree just passed the point where we need to get on. It's been going up slowly as we've been back on Myst Island, going to all the other ages. So this is routed so that right when we want to come back here, we only need to drop it like a notch or two.
There we go. Very nice. Awesome.
You see he presses the button, like if you step in and press that button, it'll immediately drop. Just one step.
Just one step. You have to wait for the rest. All right, this time we don't have to send it back up because we only need to come here twice. Thank God.
Red page.
Let's go get the red page. We don't need to do that much plumbing this time because everything is set up. We just need to go up with the red page.
Red page.
This time the red page, yes.
You skip the wine bottles, let's go.
No drinking on the job.
Very nice.
Back to
the
stone
library,
shift.
and then mechanical is left.
Yeah. Please, no fortress rotation simulator.
Fortress Rotation Simulator is the best part of the game. It's a bit hinderful in the speedrun itself because, so in one of the rooms in mechanical, in both of them have the secret doors that lead to the pages. However, the hitbox of one of them is very close to the Fortress Rotation Simulator.
I think it's more the fortress rotation simulator's hitbox is enormous.
Right.
And that plays what, a 30-second cutscene that
Yeah,
can't
something
be
like
skipped?
that. You cannot skip
Completely
that.
not
So
skippable.
that basically kills every run. If it so happens, then it happens. But we try to avoid it if possible. All right, got the blue page. Taking a quick shortcut through here, coming out on the other side, which saves us a little bit of time. Back to the bumps, into the ship, and back to the Myst pump.
All right. 2 left.
2 left.
So there's no puzzles to solve in mechanical
really.
other than the one at the start. So mechanical turns out to be
the staircase.
very,
Yes.
very
We don't have to
fast.
actually rotate mechanical because we know the solution. There you go. Very nice.
So generally it's saved for last because we're making the fewest mistakes here, and it's like, well, potentially.
In theory,
yeah,
yes.
it's the least complicated.
Yeah. All right. Got a red page.
These areas, even though they are simple, kind of difficult to navigate around.
At least at high speed. There we go. Nice.
1 left.
1 left.
The worst one. It's also disheartening because the fortress rotation simulator is the blue page is generally left for last. It's kind of up to you, but a lot of people do leave it for last, and so your run dies with the worst possible time loss. We will endeavor to miss it this time.
Wouldn't want that one missed.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe you.
Someone had to do it. There we go. Very nice.
To not do it would be, as Escher said, a missed
A missed
opportunity.
opportunity, of course.
Oh dear.
Okay, let's go.
All right. One.
Get the.
There we go.
All right.
Right. That's all.
All right.
we need to
Now.
visit, except for Kavir.
Well, there's
All right.
one more.
Yeah.
Oh, right. There's one more puzzle
there's
we need
one
to do.
more
right?
page, right?
There's
It's not
one more
all
page.
pages yet.
Yeah.
There is one final page. Now, you could end the game by collecting one of the brothers' pages, but in the spirit of Myst, we do not.
Not today. Very nice. We've set all the marker switches already on the way through. Quick fireplace puzzle. Oh,
Yeah, of course.
That was fast. Wow. No mystery.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah. Time coming up.
Time!
Nice. Yeah. Woo.
Well, so now you have seen what it is like to play the game in its potentially longest form, so now let's see what it looks like in its shortest form. And down. There you go.
Let me caveat that by saying the shortest current category. You can roll credits faster than what we're about to do, but not. It won't be a good ending. So the fastest good ending,
All right.
I guess, is a better way to say that.
Yeah. We generally for some games we have a category where you can free a brother, which abuses the fact that the last page in the fireplace triggers the ending. But we've always felt in our heart of hearts that the fastest way to win was to free Atris. And the right ending for fastest ending is to free Atris. So, Darkshoxx.
Ready for a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go! So, you know what this is. Everyone's done this. But Darkshoxx is going to try and do it pretty quick.
Ah, wonderful.
We always say in the Myst community that if you can do this in under a minute, you've got it nailed.
And that sounds intimidating, but you could learn that in under 2 hours.
Yeah. Coming from someone, you just did it.
Yes, I just started this category last week, and it took about 3 hours to get sub 50 seconds.
Yep.
So.
I think we got it.
Oh, that's close. Time coming up. Time. Woo,
Yeah.
Woo!
So before you step away, these are not ideal conditions. In speedrunning, there are many, many attempts. Why don't you tell us how fast you have done this?
My PB is 40.08 seconds.
Another 18
The world
seconds
record
faster.
is 37 seconds. The task, so the computer-generated possible best time is 35.8.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
so one
absurdly
click per
fast.
frame is So
All right. So enough of the original. Let's start to examine some of the later versions of Myst.
That's right. We're gonna run Real Myst, and
Switch
This is
switch
not-
mics with him.
yeah. Outrage.
this is not the Real Myst you might remember. This is Real Myst for the iPad that came out 12 years after the release of the PC version.
So-
we'll talk more about the iPad version in a minute.
Yeah. So give us a moment to set up while we discuss. So as you all know, Real Myst 1.0 was run on Plasma, and this iPad version is basically a recreation of the assets of that.
Yeah, you can.
So the tech that we don't have Real Myst 1.0 to run here today, but I will say that for all of the Myst games, Real Myst Masterpiece Edition, the recent Unreal Realmake, and Oculus, all of them actually have very differing tech. And again, also the version that was made in HyperCard. So the version in HyperCard is actually probably one of the least. There's the fewest glitches. In
The
fact, I
least
would say
broken, yeah.
most of the glitches that exist in the original version are artifacts of ScumVM and not Myst. Because if anyone's played the original one, you know that the original Myst on Windows required QuickTime, I believe. So ScumVM, which is bundled with the latest release, replaces it. So, but the Myst games are all heavily ported to mobile, and as you all know, the Millers loved Apple, so it only makes sense that many of them found their way onto iOS.
Yeah, you can see I have Myst, Real Myst, Riven for iPad, which is actually awesome, and Myst 2020 all on this iPad.
Shout outs to for Cyan for just dropping Myst 2020 on iPad. That was fantastic. Okay. Are you ready, sir?
So we don't have audio because,
We apologize. There is no
yeah.
audio for this run. We'll fix it for the rest of it.
but this run is exceedingly short. So we're gonna go for a different category, which we'll explain at the end.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. You let us know when you're ready for a countdown.
Okay, so unlike Myst, which starts when you click the book, because Real Myst is a movement-based game, right, 3D game, we don't start time until first movement. So
Right.
you give me a countdown, and then we'll start going. Please fill the dead air for me for the next
Yes.
30
We'll
seconds.
do our best.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go! Immediately, we have to issue an apology because there's going to be a tooltip that doesn't go away for a while.
Who remembers pop-ups?
And the reason is that it would be slower to dismiss it than just to
Yeah.
keep going without.
It will disappear once he enters the fireplace, and
There we go.
there we go. Very nice.
Oh, wait a minute. You forgot to the marker switches. What about the marker switches?
What about the pages?
Do we not care about Atris anymore?
Not today.
Not today. All right.
All right.
So with a stylus, it's actually quite easy to do this. It's much more easy to do this than with
He's
a
now
mouse
going
cursor.
to grab the book while it's still rotating because that's possible. Time is coming up soon, actually.
And
As he clicks on
time.
Atris, time.
Nice. 41. Yeah. Very nice.
As many of you might suspect, it is in fact much, much faster to not do anything and simply go to Kavir and end the game. And
So-
it is, but we find that to be interesting, but not the most interesting.
Yeah, it's a good starter category if you don't want to learn the marker switches and stuff. For whatever reason, our leaderboards for Real Myst have a bad ending category. The original game does not right now. So we've done all pages, best ending, and now you've seen bad ending. Did y'all talk? I didn't notice it.
Yes, we did.
The version.
We filled all of your dead air.
I mean, about the. Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
yeah,
So the other thing that you can't really tell, because there's no audio, so you'll have to take our word for it, is that the music in this section is deafening, and it's not balanced with Atrus's speech at all, so it literally sounds like he's mute.
Yeah.
So you can't hear him talk at all. So the assumption is that he hands you a note because he's mute and he can't actually speak in the ending cutscene.
And then after he gets upset at you, he gives you this little sign note,
This is the note
so
card he
that
hands you.
you know, just so you can remember how mad he was at the time.
What kind of fool are you?
So this version's kind of interesting because we think this is sort of a prototype of Real Myst Masterpiece. Despite it looking a lot like the original PC release with textures and models,
We suspect it's not Plasma,
Yeah, it has all the same glitches as the version you're about to see.
which runs on Unity.
And this came out just a couple years before Masterpiece. So if
As
anybody knows,
a community, we appeal to anyone in the audience who worked on these games. If you ported them, we would actually love to talk to you.
Our best assumption is that this was sort of a let's get this game on iPad and or mobile, and then we can just iterate from here now. To
Testing
get
the Unity
Masterpiece.
toolchain.
And
Yeah.
that's very similar with the Android version, which
Speak-
also has those Real Myst Masterpiece Edition glitches.
Speaking of Real Myst Masterpiece Edition, why don't you take it away, sir?
Sounds good.
So we will pivot over. So Real Myst Masterpiece Edition is the last version that came out before the Unreal Engine 4 remake, which everyone is, I hope, enjoyed by this point.
Oh, God.
Real Myst Masterpiece Edition on PC runs on Unity and has again, as we mentioned before, a completely different set of tricks and glitches and workarounds to other versions of Myst. It is also unique in that, as Zaustus mentioned, the reason we suspect that Unity was used for a lot of the mobile ports is because the tricks that exist and that we actually were originally pioneered on the PC version were then subsequently found after we went back and reviewed the mobile versions of Real Myst and noted all of the glitches for Real Myst Masterpiece Edition exist in the mobile versions too. So I think we're getting past some technical issues. All right. So. All right. Let's fill some air while they work it out.
I'm sorry that I ran the iPad version.
Huh? Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. Oh.
The computer went to sleep. It's okay.
Does that work?
It's okay. Myst, we know, is ported to a lot of platforms, right? We have tried to make sure that there is accessibility on the speedrun boards for every version. So you can run Myst on PC. You can run it on PlayStation. You can run it on the PSP, the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo 3DS. No, not Pippin. I'm sorry. I think we have a 3DO version, a CDI version, an Amiga version. If you have this hardware and you want to run it, we will accept your submissions.
Yeah, that's you, because I have no idea.
All right. Then you're on tech duty.
I don't know how we got started, so I'm going to let Flapjack talk to you about that.
So, as many of you are aware, because many of you are probably in the same boat with us, when the Kickstarter was announced back in 2018 for the 25th anniversary of Myst, one of the problems for speedrunning was that the games aren't accessible, right? They were on disc, physical copies only. Ubisoft had all the rights to reprint and publish the game, and they were generally unavailable until Cyan raised funds and reclaimed the printing rights to Myst 3, 4, and kind of brought all of them back under one banner, which is what they achieved with 25th anniversary re-release of all of the Myst games. What that meant was that they brought it to Scum VM, which if you've watched the Steam pages and like experimented with the files at all, that's how Myst, Riven, Myst 3 all run, is with Scum or residual VM binary alongside it to replace QuickTime and handle a few other things, but basically to make the game usable on all modern operating systems. So Windows, Linux, I think Scum runs on Mac too, doesn't it? Yeah. So what it meant for us is that the games are accessible, they're on digital storefronts, they're basically available for anyone to download, and that was the catalyst for the speedrunning community to basically, it was kind of a boom of interest in the games because it was no longer relegated to people who had old Windows PCs and the disk version running older OSs, and very quickly after everything came out in the end of 2018, perfect. I can stop talking. Very quickly after fingerprint? Sure, no problem. I guess I'll...
Very quickly after the fingerprint.
There we go. Yeah. Very quickly after that, the interest exploded in all those games. And I have to really thank Cyan for having done it in the first place, because it means that all the original versions of the game live on. Despite anything they might do in the future, the old versions live on and are available for extremely cheap.
Except
for Real Myst
Myst
1.0, which some might see as a travesty, others might see as a godsend,
Okay.
All right.
We have fixed some
Technical difficulties
issues.
over.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
you're going to see a lot of menus, which we'll try to explain in the minute that it's going to take Zaustus to do this.
All right.
So,
Like the iOS version, time starts when we first move on Myst Island. So I'm going to get set up.
he's going to get set up. He's going to tweak his input options, and he's going to be doing two things specifically. Go ahead and tell us when you're ready, and we'll explain them in motion.
Okay, so yeah, we you want to explain them? Great.
Countdown.
All right, let's do a countdown. Tell me when to go.
3, 2, 1, go! All right, so he's often moving. He's using what's called vectored movement, so he's adding his left and his forward movements together to achieve a slightly higher top speed. This is what happens when you don't normalize movement speed. We'll talk about that again in a minute.
Yeah.
He's just grabbed the blue page off the shelf. That's odd. And why? Because he can actually just hand it in through the front cover of the Hawk marker switch and exchange it for the white page.
Is that not how you beat the game?
I don't, it's Dunny. It's a Dunny magic.
Oh, I see. Yisha was involved.
Yeah, so now what he's doing is typing in the fireplace code. But what's going to happen is you're going to see him pull the menu up, and he's going to make a save. Why? This game has two input modes, classic and free movement. What happens when you create a save in one place and then load it in another is that it superimposes your position, and you actually retrieve it in your destination. And now he's actually on a different point in Kavir. He switches back to classic, moves slightly, and he's all of a sudden standing in front of Atris, saving 2 or 3 seconds.
For some reason, there it goes.
Yeah, let's
Time.
go. Time.
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there.
We blame Atris, he didn't take the page.
I was standing.
This trick is called saging.
Yeah, I was standing in the right spot, but that it didn't work.
All right. Well, this is all well and good. This is quite interesting. Why don't we take a look at Unreal? Take a look at the Unreal version of Myst. So, this is the first game. I don't know if they did it for us. We'll say that they did it for us. There's an achievement that many of you are aware of, that you can beat this game in less than 2 minutes.
Which is generous.
Yeah, which is very generous. But if you can beat this game in less than 2 minutes, you get a speedy achievement. So, technically, I've already gotten it on this computer, so you won't see it pop up. But let's do it anyway. So, as you all know, Unreal Engine 4, so Cyan switched tool chains from Plasma
Just?
and Unity down to Unreal.
Yeah, this is their second Unity game, right?
Second Unity game.
Second Unreal game.
Second
Yeah.
Unreal game. First one was Abduction. This is the second one, and Firmament was the third. So, because Cyan...
Why I'm loading?
Yeah, go ahead. So, because the first cutscene is skippable, please, Cyan, make it skippable. We have to load a save in order to actually not waste a ton of time
So
between
this
resets.
is the safe game right at the beginning of the game.
So this save basically lands him on the dock, skipping the opening cutscene.
That's all we do.
That's all we do.
So normally you'd walk forward here and start your run, but instead Shox is going to load an option.
So there's an option in the menu that actually teleports you to a safe spot. And we thought, since Cyan was so generous to give us this accessibility option, that we would just abuse it for speed tech. So, go ahead. Are we ready to count down?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So you can see the very first thing he does is he goes into the menu and teleports to a safe spot. Where does this land him? It lands him in Myst's library, not at remotely where he was before, and he's going to start off by doing all of the marker switches that are nearby. So this is basically just a game of touch things very, very carefully. The fastest runs of this game, you would not even think that they had stopped at all to click on these marker switches. So they're... To the best of our knowledge, there's no way around this. Maybe in the future release. Or
Wonderful. Go.
You got it?
Yeah.
Here we go. So we are not aware of any way to skip any of the marker switches, which is fine because it would make the 2-minute achievement mark rather trivial. But as many of you are also aware, you could randomize these, and there is in fact a category of this game where you can try and do this, guessing which marker switch is going to have the white page. So he is getting the mechanical one. He's going to get the last page. You are going to see him use his teleport to safe spot again, because as you know, if you trigger it while you're standing on the dock, you just wind up in the library again.
So the one thing we did not mention is you didn't see him running at an angle, because in the Unreal version, movement is normalized.
They did learn their lesson, yes. They took our trick away from us.
No.
So
I'm very thankful for that.
Easier to look at. There we go. Very nice.
In terms of the other things you can do, the thing that you're sadly not going to see here is that there is, in fact, another way to play this game, which is in VR. And in VR, there's a trick where you can reach backwards through the wall and open the book and link out without ever typing in the code. It was one of the first things that was found by people who were trying to play the game in VR. Time's coming up. As soon as this page enters his linking book. And time.
All right.
There you go.
No.
Well,
Yeah, the speedy achievement actually pops when you warp into Kavir, so it's not. I'm sorry, Link.
Link into Kavir.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Our timing is when the book closes, but for the achievement, it's even more generous.
Yes.
Yes. So this would have been within achievement, I believe.
And in fact, with loads removed, which is the most constraining feature of a lot of these games, it's well under 2 minutes.
Yep.
Now, we start getting into things that nobody has ever seen live before. So we are going to pop out a disclaimer, as we said we would. I forgot.
It's not that.
It's not that yet. I forgot.
It's
we
a
have
different thing
something
that no one's seen
interesting.
before.
So,
Is it this?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So what we got is Darkshoxx and I had a really sadistic idea, and it would be, how fast can one beat the game if they can't see it? And Darkshoxx actually did quite a bit of his own personal research and discovered that while he wouldn't call it impossible, it's highly improbable. But what he did discover is that you can have somebody else tell you where to click. So we thought, what is the most obnoxious, obtuse thing that we can do? And that's for Darkshoxx to be blindfolded, and I will tell him how to play the game.
Do you want to move your seat up?
He's been wearing that blindfold this whole weekend just for this moment.
So,
Right. Flapjack, can you come next to me
I'm
because
right
of
here.
the delay? Oh,
So,
wonderful. Cool.
I'm going to quickly explain the things that you're about to see. Darkshoxx did practice for this run, and he has a significant amount of his own personal muscle memory. I am going to attempt to use it to our advantage. What does that look like? On Myst Island, most of the marker switches are placed in the lower left of the screen. You're going to hear me tell him marker switch lower left, and he's going to try and just land on it by using his muscle memory. I will attempt to correct his mistakes if he makes any. The other thing you're going to see is you're going to see me place his mouse cursor in extremely specific spots. Why? Because if you click in a series of clicks, you actually traverse Myst Island without having to move your mouse much at all. So you will go from places like in front of the planetarium to standing in front of the rocket ship without having to move your cursor. We mapped all these out. We're going to do our best. All right, sir. You ready?
Let me just check F5. Is it mode on?
Zip mode is on.
Okay, so can it enter?
20 upright. Down 10. Down 10. Right 5. Click.
Okay.
And now you know how this is going to go. All right. 80 upright.
80 upright.
Down 10. Give us a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. That looks good. Let me double check once we land in. I think it's good. 2 clicks. Go. Right. About face. Full left. Full left again. A click. Center. 20 left. 2 clicks. 2 clicks. Left 10. Click. Marker switch lower left. 10 left. Click. Another click. 20 right. 10 left. 5 right. 8 clicks. Up 10. Click. Up 10. Click. Marker switch lower left. 5 left. Click. Up 20. Up 20. 2 left. 2 right. Go. Yep. One more. Good. About face. 50 upright. 20 left. 20 left. Down 10. 5 right. 7 clicks. Sorry, it didn't work. 5 right, 5 down. 6 clicks. Slight left, very slight left. Go. Click. 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 Full right. Click. Full right click. Okay, center screen. Click. Full right. Click. Center screen. Click. 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 20 left. 20 right. This is what happens. 20 left. 5 left. Click. Marker switch lower left. Up 10. Click. Down 5. Click. Perfect. Slight left. Click. Click. 5 right. Click. 5 right. Click. There you go. 20 right. Click. 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 One more. Yes. All right. Up 10. 5 right. 5 up. 8. 5 right. Again. Again. Up 5. 2. 5 down. 5 right. Click. Up. Full up. Click. 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 Mark starts lower left. Up 5. Click. Here you go. All right. 50 left. 5 right. 5 right. 5 right. Up 5. 6 clicks. One more. One more. Okay. 20 right. 20 up. Click. 5 right. 5 right. 5 down. 5 down. Click. 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 5 right down. I'm sorry. 20 left. Click. Dock zip. 20 left. 20 left. 10 up. 5 right. 5 right. 5 right. Click. Dock's marker switch. 5 down. 5 right. 5 down. 5 right. Click.
have it?
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
5 right, 2 clicks. Center, 20 left, 5 right, 10 up, 10 right. Click, click. Full left, click. Full right, and then do not click.
Oh, sorry.
Full left, click. Full right, it's up, and 10 left, click. Center. Click. All right, full left. Sorry, full right. My bad. Click. And click. Center. 5 left, 5 down. Click. Fireplace switch. 5 left. Click. All right, 5 right. 1 right, 1 up. 1 right. Slight left, slight up. Good. Yes. Click. Down 1. Click. Down right. Up. Undo. Up. Undo. Slight down. Click. 2 up, 1 right. Click. 3 right, 1 up. Click. Slight. Yep. The second. Undo. Up 1. Click. Down 1. Click. Down 1. Down 1. Click. Right 1. Sorry, left 1. Sorry. Undo. 2 right. Click. Up 1. Click. Up 1. Click. Up 1. Down far. Yes. Up 1. Click. Up left 1. Undo. Right 1. Click. Undo. Right 1. Click. Left 1. Click. Down 1. Slide up. Click. Left 1. 2 left. 2 right. 1 right. Click. 1 up left. Slide up. Click. Left 1. Click. Undo. Slide right. Click. Up 1. Click. Up 1. Undo. Up 1. Click. Fireplace switch. Slight left. Click. Slight down left. Click. Click. Slight left. Center. 80 left. 5 right. 5 right. Click. Click. 10 right, 10 down. Click.
So time is coming up shortly here.
Yep. Go. Yep. Go. Left, right. 20 upright. Again. Oh.
Shit.
Left.
Sorry.
Left.
Left.
Click.
Please give him
Center.
the page.
Slight left. Click. Slight left. Click. Click. Left. Slide up. Ever so click. Good. We got it.
Time.
Hey, that's still top 10.
When we first ran this, we did it in 16 minutes. And we got it to under 10, which we did not expect.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you've done the right thing.
All right. Now, disclaimer coming up.
Yeah, so next up is going to be the first live speedrun of Firmament. Yeah, all right. So, if you have not played Firmament,
Yeah.
if you have not seen the end of
I will say this.
There will be very little spoilers.
Okay. This will be the last speed run.
This is also not the run you expect to see.
Yeah.
I promise you.
So I'm going to, the spoilers are as minimal as possible, but we do have to end the game, so we do spoil where the game ends.
Okay.
So, looks like
As the room empties, we're going to get started.
about half the crowd is left, and that's cool.
I would say we don't spoil any.
I have a talent for that.
All right. So, things that are not spoilery that I will talk about with Firmament. You will see that a lot of the design decisions regarding the menu and accessibility options from Myst 2020 are retained in Firmament. So they did things that they liked and that they got good feedback on in Myst 2020, and those things were pulled forward into Firmament. Oh, do you need to?
All the real Cyan fans left in here, am I right? Let's go.
Yeah, it's still capturing only that one.
I say that like I didn't just play Abduction, Myst 5, and Firmament in the last 2 weeks.
And I could not believe that you tried to casually get through all those games. All right. What else can we talk about with Firmament? Oh, let's talk about the progression of the speedrun.
Yeah, so let me.
So-
I'm doing a little setup here, but we
Yep.
can talk
It just
about that
keeps
when we
getting
do that.
stupider.
Yeah, so I think the first run was done by a member of the community named Gelly, and I think it was, what, an hour and a half?
Yeah, something like that.
About an hour and a half. And then I think an iteration of that dropped to around 45 minutes. And the current world record is 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, just under
Helped by
6.
the
Just under
person who's
6.
sitting there.
Yes.
Now, we're talking about any percent, which, like, allows all glitches, right?
Yeah. Nothing is sacred. Everything is permitted.
But if you prefer to, like, speedrun without glitches, we also typically have categories for glitchless, especially for, like, Abduction and Firmament.
That's correct.
And we also have separate VR categories.
If you were ever thinking to get into speedrunning, and as many people do, they often think about, well, I would prefer to play the game this way or a specific way, or I would prefer to play without glitches. The good news is that as a speedrunning community, none of us make decisions in a vacuum, and we're generally open to whoever wants to play the game however they want to play it. All they have to do is prove that they can do it quickly and that they're actually invested in doing it, which is usually consists of run it and record it.
Yeah.
We have so many categories that were run once that we then sort of decided that were a bad idea, but those runs are still recorded.
Like all achievements for Real Myst Masterpiece.
Yes, I don't know who would have done that.
Okay.
Alrighty. So,
We're getting going here. Is that showing up? Good.
Yep.
Good. All right. So yeah, this is Firmament. We're going to use that same teleport to safe spot thing that is in Real Myst Masterpiece Edition. We're starting. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna restart again.
did you? Oh,
Is
you.
this for cache loading purposes?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you start a new game
takes
from
a lot of time to load, depending on how strong your machine is. But if you start a new game from within the area that you start, basically that scene is already preloaded, so it will take less time to load when you start it.
Do not take this as an indictment. I'm sure that this will be improved in future patches of Firmament because the story was the same with
But
Myst
that's
2020.
just something that happens with games in general. That's
Yeah.
not something specific to Firmament.
Well, and it's also very computer power dependent at
Yes.
this time.
And as you can tell, we're running this on a laptop with a GPU enclosure, so
A
Yeah.
giant eGPU in the back. Yeah.
Okay.
which I totally didn't buy just for this event.
So we are ready to go. So give me a countdown.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right. We click OK.
Which means we got to start loading.
And now we get a loading screen.
Yeah.
You don't see the loading screen animation because that's covered by,
Our lovely faces.
yes. which are also covered by masks. Wear masks.
So,
So we're going to start out in the bunker, and we're going to pick up the adjunct, first things first. But then we're going to save some time by not walking out of the bunker. We're going to use that teleport to safe spot
Is that what we just did?
to get out quickly. So we grab that, and we go teleport to safe spot. That takes us outside the bunker. Bunker's still closed. And now this first part of the run ends up being pretty similar to playing the game casually. We still have to do the first ice block puzzle here in Curie Vale. You're going to see probably a little glitching and hanging just because
there's nothing we apologize for the laggy loads.
We're moving too fast.
Just-
There's
there's the hardware.
in order to speedrun the game effectively in its current patch, it requires a substantially more powerful computer than I could pack for Mysterium.
All right. So we play with the crane here. This part probably seems pretty familiar to you if you've played the game, and I assume everyone here has, or else why would you still be here? We can actually, as soon as the crane starts slowing down, we can start lowering it, and then we'll hear a chunk, and we can let go. It'll just keep lowering and grab the ice block on its own. Once that comes back up, I'm going to move it back forward. I've got a visual indicator that I use. And then I'm going to start lowering it back down. So to about there, and then start lowering it. And I can actually stand here behind the ladder and wait for a visual indicator of about like yay, and just click, and that takes me down. That's no longer possible on the current patch, I think. That got fixed, but I'm playing on patch 3, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that sets us up nicely to just cross, and we'll have to deal with a little bit more stutter lag here. I'm sorry about that.
Sal says, would you say this is a chill run?
A chill run, yeah, it's very cool.
Unbelievable.
Don't worry, we got this locked out. I'm ice cold.
You,
All right.
You both should be ashamed of yourselves.
It's been very nice to meet all of you.
I'm not. So I'm going to make a save here in the pod, and why will become apparent pretty quickly. All right, so once the pod starts transitioning, I'm going to use teleport to save spot again. I can just mash the escape key once I'm in the transition, and it won't pull up the menu until we've actually reached the swan. And then I'll teleport out, and that's faster than waiting for the doors to open and walking out normally. There we go. So I go settings, teleport to save spot. And there we go. We save a little bit of time over that. We're going to open up the pod here into St. Andrew.
We're going to do the very same thing again that we just did.
We're going to do a very similar thing. So we're going to start the transition. This is a little bit of a longer transition to get to St. Andrew. It's a bigger area than the Swan. So again, I'm mashing escape here, wanting the menu to pop up so that I can teleport out. That saves even more time when teleporting into St. Andrew, because it actually jumps. The safe spot is up the stairs from where the pod is. Or rainbow sparkles. I don't know if they're cosmic rays or what. I have no idea.
This is about to get wild.
Yeah, getting a little lag, unfortunately, but we'll do our best. You can see what I mean about it being very load time dependent. All right. So we teleport out, and there we go. Beautiful. We're up the stairs a little bit. So now, the reason we're coming here is because we want to use this skiff here. So we're going to go forward a couple times. And I'm actually going to make a second save here. And now I'm going to raise this, and while I'm raising it, I'm going to load that first save. Now, raising on the skiff locks your Z position, and that transfers through saves. So now my Z elevation is fixed back in the pod in Curryvale. That means I can't go up, and importantly, I can't go down, which means if I were to, I don't know, fall through the world, I wouldn't fall.
We call this skywalking.
So that's the skywalk glitch, and we combine that with the next one I'm going to use, which is called pod dropping. You'll see it once this loading screen finishes up here. There we go. So we're back in the Curryvale pod. Wait for that door to start opening. Yep, we made the first save. I'll back up, and if I kind of wedge myself into the doorway here,
And then close it.
and then close the door on myself while to transition.
This is uncomfortable.
This
The
is
tight squeeze.
This is
Very
awkward.
dangerous.
Yeah. So, and I'll get dumped out into the void, unfortunately. Now I can't make a save. I can't open the menu here, but autosaves still fire every 30 seconds. So I'm actually watching the update time.
He's got the save file directory of Firmament open on the other screen, and he's watching for it.
Yep, and it fired off.
So he closes the game.
As soon as the save game file updates. So he knows that there's been a save game made on the
Now
other
he
save.
relaunches Firmament.
And then we can load that.
And now I can load that autosave.
And he loads the autosave he was waiting for while being stuck in the door.
And the reason I got that skywalking is so I wouldn't fall too far while waiting for the autosave to fire up, because we're going to need to be at some elevation. But now you'll see, once the load comes back in, we are now outside of the Swan.
Ooh.
And we're going to start falling because skywalking isn't on anymore, so we quickly make a save. and then we go back, and we're going to load save game 2.
Because we want to re-enable skywalking, we have to go back to St. Andrew, go on the skid, move that upwards, and while that's moving upwards, load back to the other save, just like we did last time. So the Z position is fixed again, we can skywalk again, and walk wherever we want.
Yeah, we might find somewhere interesting to walk to. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens.
I wonder where we go.
Yeah, it's a mystery. Wait through the loading here. Unfortunately, it does take a little while.
It's worth pointing out that usually we try to develop these tools called auto splitters that like help with the timer. They inspect the game while it's running, and if the game is in a loading state or not enabled at all, it will just pause the timer. So it tends to balance out people that have different powered machines, so it's fair for everybody.
Yep. We in the speedrunning community.
We load.
In the speedrunning community, that difference between timing a game from the absolute beginning of the run to the absolute end is called real-time attack, or RTA. But what Rad referred to, where the game keeps track of in-game time, is called exactly that, IGT, in-game time.
So you
Makes
saw
it fair for people with different
Computers.
beefiness of computer.
Yeah.
my home computer is pretty powerful, which is so I have an unfair advantage over a lot of people.
Yes.
Right.
So you'll see that we are now kind of in that void again, but because we got the skywalk, we can
We're not
just sort
falling through the
of
void.
we can just sort of walk through space.
So it might not be apparent in the back, but he is actually moving from really high up.
And the movement's very weird. Now, this isn't actually the fastest way to run this game. The fastest way is to do this walk in the pitch black the first time you get into the void, because you already have skywalking. That's what the record
nothing
does.
for 5 minutes.
But then you're sitting there, you'd all be staring at a blank black screen while I do the run, and that seemed boring. So for this event, we decided to do this slightly more interesting version. So what I do is I wait until I'm kind of over here, and then I make a save, make that save, and then I kill the game again. I'm very...
We need to get down now, because the best way to get down is to actually drop.
Yep. So he disables skywalking by basically restarting the game one last time.
Yeah, because restarting the game disables that flag that locks your Z position that we got through skywalking. So we're going to load save game 1.
We're just back.
And we'll be
Where
back.
we
Yeah, we'll be
saved
back
the
in space, but above that interesting-looking room that we saw.
The funky little dome.
Yeah, with a pretty dome. We'll see what happens. Wait through another load here. All right, we're coming in. That looks good. Turn on
The dome
running.
is quickly approaching us.
Whoop.
We're approaching it.
And then
There
time.
we go. Time. That's it. That's the end of firmament.
The end.
Very nice.
The end of the game is actually triggered by, there are trigger planes at the ends of this walkway and the one on the other side. So that's what we use. Normally we'd play with subtitles on, and we use the subtitle popping up as the ending time. But for this, I was trying to minimize spoilers as much as possible.
Yep. So
that's it.
I think we're over time. So I think we're just going to. I think that is the end of our block.
Yep.
And we will turn it back over to the lovely staff of Mysterium.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed.
And I should turn this off so that spoilers are over and people can come back in the room.